for your service to us.
So for people who don't know me, my name is Harvey Epstein. I'm an assembly member from the 74th Assembly District. And it's every time we come out here and we talk about Rikers, it's heartbreaking. We talk about the mental health crisis happening in our city and our state. And that Rikers is a place for pre-trial detention. Remember that. These are people who are not convicted of a thing. 90% of the people being held on Rikers have not been convicted of anything. So these folks, these are our people from our communities across this city, are being held there. 53% of people there have mental health issues. 18% or so have such severe mental health issues that they need hospitalization. But every day they continue to sit on Rikers Island. Imagine your loved one, your brother, your sister, your child, your parent, who had a serious mental health issue, and the only answer wasn't hospitalization, but was a prison. And then we're surprised when people with severe mental health issues may attempt suicide. It is a clear path here. The path of our failure of our government to protect the most vulnerable people. People who are struggling with addiction. People who are struggling with mental health issues. There is a better way. We see it all over the world. You go to places like Amsterdam and you see prisons that treat people like humans. You see in other parts of the country, in Seattle, who've changed their prison system to make it more humane. We have an opportunity here to do the right thing for fellow New Yorkers who are struggling. The question we continue to have to ask is why we're not doing it now. Why are we not treating our brothers and sisters who are behind the wall like we treat the rest of our family? They are human beings and they deserve care and respect. Even today, if you saw, there was an article in the New York Times about incarcerated people getting waterboard in New York State prisons. These are people who have rights, are being treated like animals. We have to do better. We're obligated to do better, and we'll continue to come back and stand up for people who don't have the opportunity to speak until we all do the right thing. It is our responsibility as fellow New Yorkers to stand up for them, and I will continue to stand with you, and I will continue to fight with you until we get a more just system. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes on. And next I want to bring up a comrade. His name is Conrad, and he works for the Bronx Defenders.
Right.
Thank you, Dr. B. My name is Conrad Blackburn. I'm a criminal defense attorney and policy counsel at Bronx Defenders. Now, as a criminal defense attorney, obviously I represent individuals who are sent to Rikers Island quite frequently. And as you heard Assemblymember Epstein say, the people who are sent to Rikers, they are often not convicted of any crime. They stand innocent of what they're charged with. But there are people on Rikers Island who have been sentenced to city sentences. But you know what? That doesn't matter. Whether somebody's in because bail was set and they're innocent, or whether they were convicted of a crime and are serving a city sentence, they're still human beings. They still deserve a level of respect and care that they are not getting at Rikers Island. Now, we all know DOC's motto, right? Care, custody, control. What's the first word in their motto? Care. Now, let's ask ourselves, how was Mr. Chima Williams allowed to pass out and die at Rikers Island? How? It's because DOC doesn't care. It's because they can't even uphold the first word in their motto, care. It's tragic. Now, as a criminal defense attorney, I often visit my clients in Rikers Island, and I hear disgusting things about what happens to them at the island. Recently, I'll keep most of this anonymized. I have one client who's spoke to me about what they experienced upon going to Rikers Island. They were attacked by other detainees because of their phone usage. The detainee wanted the phone, my client wouldn't give up their phone time. Now, my client spoke to a guard about what happened to them, and the guard dissuaded my client from going forward with charges against the individual. The guard dissuaded my client from seeking care about what happened to her. This is what our clients experience at Rikers Island on the daily, right? This is the level of care that DOC is giving to people. None at all. This has to change. The buck stops with the mayor and the new commissioner of DOC. These two people have heard us get up before every board meeting and talk about the inhumane conditions at Rikers. They've heard it over and over and over. They hear the family members of people who pass away at Rikers get up to speak at each one of our rallies. They don't care. They still allow these things to happen. Shame on them. Shame. They're elected representatives. They represent everybody in New York, not just people who are not incarcerated, everyone, right? So they owe a duty to these individuals as well. And they're not fulfilling that duty. So they need to get the heck up out of office then. And we're gonna make sure that happens, right? We're gonna continue holding them accountable, and we're gonna continue telling them to care about the people in Rikers, to give a damn about the people in Rikers. So that's why we're here today, and everybody that you hear speak today is going to give you the same spirit. So what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
And justice looks like closing Rikers Island and never opening it back up. Justice looks like decarcerating. Yes. Justice looks like decriminalizing. Yes. Justice does not look like sweeping people off the streets, holding people's family members at ransom, and keeping them in jail indefinitely in a place where they are not cared for. So let's bring real justice to New Yorkers, right? Let's heal these ills of our criminal justice system, and let's for sure close Rikers Island. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.